Scary story time while I make slime, clown edition. I don't know if y'all remember like the freaking clown epidemic when the clowns were on a rise terrorizing people. I don't know if y'all remember that. My experience with the clowns happened in 2016. Get your money's worth. Let it drain. I ain't forget. My light died, so we're doing a video like this. But yeah, I was in the 5th or 6th grade when this happened, and we were at recess, right? So I was playing pony in the field. Did I mention it's also like 1 in the morning right now? Yeah. I'm playing pony in the field with my friend, right? I literally just remember like talking to my friend, minding my business, and the next thing you freaking know, I look to my left side and I see a freaking clown sitting on top of like my school gate. I'm automatically thinking I'm tripping because what you have to understand is clowns terrify the crap out of me, right? So I tap my friend, I'm like, you see that? And then she tapped me, she talking about some, you see that? So I got a clown on my left side and I got a clown on my right side, and then I got a clown straight ahead. Next thing you freaking know, kids start screaming, and I was one of those kids. Like, I didn't care. I was screaming for my life. Bloody murder, right? So in total, it was literally like 6 clowns lined up against this gate, right? Now, the thing about my school was you had to climb a gate, then go into a dam, climb the dam, and then hop on that gate. So as a grown man, why are you that invested to like scare a bunch of kids, right? And I still have beef with whoever those clowns were. All the kids who were playing in the grass during recess, they just start booking it because there's literally clowns sitting on the gate. So they're booking it, right? And so the kids who were on the black pavement, they're looking at us screaming. So they start screaming because they see clowns behind us. And there was like 2 teachers watching us. And I noticed that the teachers were not getting the kids in the classroom fast enough. So you know what I did? I booked it to the girls' bathroom and locked the door. You're not getting the kids in the classroom fast enough for me. So how are you supposed to save me? So I just ran to the girls' bathroom, locked the door, and was just in one of the girls' stalls, scared out of my mind, okay? So that was my experience with the freaking clowns, y'all. I don't know if it happened on the freaking East Coast, but on the West Coast, we were being terrorized by them freaking clowns. One last thing. Who thought it was a good idea to bring clowns to a kid birthday party anyway? Whoever started that, we gotta nip you in the bud, bro. Story time how I ran away from home while I mixed up my slime collection. So I've told this story on my food account before. A lot of this is like unactivated. Oh my gosh. This happened when I was 16 years old and I just felt like life wasn't fair, okay? So my mom's boyfriend at the time did not freaking like me for no reason. He always made it seem like I had like a weird attitude, and it just got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. My mom also became like a freaking Karen, a black Karen. I don't know why, but she did. Let me pause the story time. This is actually one of the first slimes I made on this account. So I got super fed up and I just got tired of everyone making it seem like I was just like this angry 16-year-old who just was rude to everybody, when in reality I was like super freaking sweet, right? My mom would always take like me and my freaking siblings' phones, right? And I was in a relationship. It was freaking toxic, but you know, taking somebody's phone, and I'm in a long distance relationship, that like, don't do me. Technically, she tried to take it and I didn't give it to her, and I freaking ran. Like, I freaking booked it. She chased me around the car. She chased me around the car, and you want to know what I freaking did? I freaking booked it. This is Miss Piggy. But anyways, I ran for my freaking life because it, like, at 16, that was a freaking big deal. So I ran for my life. I called my freaking cousin and told her that I had ran away and I just didn't know what to do. Mind you, my cousin, she was like 19 at this time. I was actually at her apartment complex, but she wasn't home. She was with her girl best friend, and so they had called me a freaking Uber, and I was with them for the day. Oh my gosh, they called me an Uber, you know, I get there or whatever, and I had met her girl best friend for the first time ever, right? Everything's sweet, everything's nice. I was with them for the freaking day, right? And oh my gosh, looks like poop. I had no intentions on going back home immediately, just because like I was already in a toxic relationship. I felt like my parents didn't understand me, not to mention like my mom's boyfriend was just the worst. So here's how I got caught. I was with them until like nightfall, right? And we're walking to the girl best friend's house, and my cousin's older sister sees me and she's like, let's go. Mind you, my cousin's older sister is my mom's like best friend, so she was like, let's go. Like, why, how could you do your mom like this? And like, she didn't understand it for real. Like, you had to live in the house to understand how like draining it was. Not to mention that I was 16 years old, so like I already felt like no one got me, bro. And then they proved it. Like, they proved it. No one freaking got me. So that's kind of how I like ran away. My mom kind of chased me. It's funny because before that I had ran away. Like I was running and my sister caught me. She was running with me. Mind you, my sister is younger than me. She was like, you're not gonna do this to me. And she like ran after me. She booked it after me. She eventually found me, and you know, that was that. Yeah, like I can feel hearing this. Ew, but it's actually a really good slime. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a lot of slime. I think I'm just gonna break this up and just put it into all the containers it just came out of. Y'all also have been asking me like, where do I keep my like slime at? I literally keep them in old container, like formula containers, because of like my auntie's baby, and she doesn't use them anyway, so I just have to take them. But I think the containers are making them melt, so I'm just gonna start to get glass containers and use them. Story time on my first kiss while I try to make kinetic sand slime. I've never made this before. Y'all like the mohawk? I feel like it's cute. I don't know. Y'all already know. Get your money's worth and let it drain. My very first kiss was when I was 17 years old. The person who kissed me is my now boyfriend. But basically, yeah. It happened on the first time we ever had like linked up with each other and like met each other. And I decided that I wanted to go to a mall with him, you know, to see him or whatever, because we couldn't hang out long because he ended up pulling up late, pretty much. So everything is cute and sweet, and we were like sitting in the car so we can feel each other's vibes a little bit, and he was like, give me a kiss, and I was like, no. I was actually scared to kiss him because I never did this before. No, I never did this before. We're adding the kinetic crap, and it smells kind of funny. Okay, I'm dodging him, and I told him I was gonna give him a kiss. Whoa, I never played with kinetic sand. I was gonna give him a kiss when we came back from the mall, right? He was like, okay then. He was like, bet, like, you gonna do that for real? And I was like, yeah. No. Y'all, did I put too much? Anyways, so we was in the mall, and I started playing with him like always. I always play. I play too much. And he got fed up at some point and ended up picking me up and taking me out of the mall, y'all. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, he picked me up, took me out of the mall, and took me back to the car. Well, I start walking to the front seat, you know. No. He pulls me out of the way, opens his back door, and pushes me in his back door. I couldn't make this up, y'all. I couldn't make this up. I'm like, oh, what's finna happen? You know, what we finna get into? So, we just in the car, we talking or whatever, and so I'm on my phone, mind y'all. I don't know if he peeped this, but my phone, where we were at, I did not have good service. So I'm just scrolling on Instagram that's not loading. He was like, are you gonna give me my kiss? Are you gonna give me my kiss? I'm like, boy, I'm scrolling on Instagram. So I think he realized that I was not going to give him a kiss on command. Like, I wasn't. I'm dead serious. I was never going to do that. He did something slicker, guys. You know, he was talking to me or whatever, and he kind of caught me off guard. And he said something, right? And he grabbed my face like this and gave me a kiss. Like, what are you trying to get into? You know, what are you trying to get into? I felt like that was, like, super freaking cute. Look at this. This is actually nice. But it smells kind of good, too. But I'm like, okay. And that's like the story time on how I lost my first kiss ever. And the crazy thing is, we hit 300K followers in the span of 2 freaking months. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm actually happy. This is really freaking cute. I wish I can go live and like thank y'all, but thank y'all. And if you love seeing me, go follow my YouTube channel and go like follow my freaking Instagram. This is kinetic slime. I kind of ate this, but like, what else y'all want me to make? It kind of feels so fun and weird to play with. Look at that. What else y'all want me to make for real? Like, what else? Story time on how I hated my period for 3 years while I made clay slime. So I got my first period when I was 14 years old. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. I was a late bloomer. Everybody else in my family got their period when they were like 10, 11, or 12. I got mine when I was 14 years old. I'm gonna tell y'all my logic on why I didn't tell anyone. This is the time where my auntie was sick with stage 4 cancer, and I did not want to be another money burden because, like, I lived in a house full of girls who got their period anyway, so it wasn't like anyone would notice. Mind y'all, this is like my 14-year-old brain logic, okay? Like, it made no sense. So when I first got my period, I actually did not think it was my period. Like, that sounds stupid, but I didn't think it. When it came along like the next month, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is real. People weren't paying attention to me like as it was anyway, so no one freaking caught on, okay? So like, this is like a good month or two now, and I ended up moving to my dad's house. And how he didn't peep it is even more crazy to me, because we lived in a studio apartment. We shared one bathroom, and so it was just like, you didn't notice that your daughter, like, you know, had her period. I don't know. Mind you, I was stealing like his girlfriend's sanitary products like the whole time. I was stealing it, and how she didn't notice, like, hey, my supplies is running out. Like, it's kind of weird. But we ended up moving in with one of my aunties and my dad's girlfriend, and I would steal their products like all the time. And the reason why I did not tell my dad was literally because I did not want the attention of, oh my gosh, you're like a woman now. For some reason, I have anxious anxiety, so that seemed like a pretty big deal to me. I don't know why. Time jump, we're at like the 3-year mark, and my sister ended up getting her period, right? So she tells me and my other sister, and she ends up hiding her period for a month, like, with us knowing, and then she accidentally leaves blood on the toilet, and so obviously my dad and his girlfriend come in, and they're like, oh, who has their period and who's hiding it from us, and all that annoying stuff. And it was just a terrible situation because they try to make it seem like my sister was better than me because she apparently got her stuff before me, which she didn't. They just didn't know that, and I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, oh, she better than me? Oh, okay. Like, they tried to put me and my siblings up against each other so much, and me and my siblings was just looking at each other like, you're cute. I end up telling my dad like maybe a month or two later, and he's like, why would you hide something like that? Like, I couldn't even tell y'all why. Like, truly, I really thought that I was doing the world justice. And then it just became like a secret that I kept. That was one of my darkest little secrets at the time, and I thought I was eating it up. Like, I'm mysterious. No, you should have told somebody. That's how, like, I hid it for 3 years. Like, no one knew. I just was using sanitary products. I really did get lucky. I don't know how. I just kept getting lucky. I kept moving in with people who had already had their periods, and I was just stealing their stuff, and, you know, yeah. I need to set something straight with y'all because I'm tired of seeing this in my comments. I am not walking around with clumps of slime underneath my nails when I'm done. I always wash my hands because I'm dealing with laundry detergent and my hands sometimes get sensitive, okay? And number 2, with my rings, I clean my rings. I'm not walking around with clumps of slime in my ring, okay? I'm not walking around with dirty, sticky fingers. So eliminate that thought. When it comes to my beautiful hands, I'm very clean. And just because my nails, like my real life nails, are long does not mean I'm dirty. Does not mean I keep them dirty. No. Okay, y'all. So stop. Bye, guys. Story time on how a boy threw a basketball at my head and I cried while I make slime. That ball hit me like it was a rubber bullet. It took the air out of my chest. My 9th grade year was a freaking mess, y'all. A freaking mess. Before we get into the nitty gritty, we gotta start at the beginning. But before we get into the beginning, get your money's worth, let it drain. I didn't forget. A lot of people in high school thought I was annoying, loud. They didn't like me, okay? So back then, like, being darker, it was really hard because, like, if you were dark, you had a stereotype of what you had to look like being dark. It didn't make it any better because my girl best friend was literally a light skin with blue eyes and a nice curve. I was considered as her ugly sidekick, the ugly darker friend. It happened during class, y'all. So we're at PE, me and my girl best friend and a couple other acquaintances are like talking, laughing, just doing regular high school things. I kind of had my head towards the ground, right? And I see something over my head, but it's just like this. Like, I see the shadow of it. I see it flying over my head, obviously, but I didn't do anything. Why? Because literally it was in the air for at least a minute. Next thing y'all know, boom. I'm tripping over myself. If you ever play Call of Duty and someone throws a flash at you, that's exactly what happened. That ball hit me like a rubber bullet. I thought I had been taken out. Automatically, I had blacked out for like at least a second, and I looked down at the ground and I just look up and I just see everybody going like, oh, my girl best friend is literally laughing at me. And I look to my side and I literally see a bunch of boys laughing. At this point, my girl best friend, she comes over, she's like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? But she, you know, she's kind of chuckling, and I have tears in my eyes, y'all, because when I tell y'all, that basketball smacked the tears out of me. For a second, I didn't realize I got hit with a basketball, y'all. Like, I didn't realize it until, like, my girl best friend was like, is your head okay? No, my head was not okay. I'm really not trying to cry in front of all these people, y'all, but like I said, it smacked me so hard, it smacked the tears out of me, okay? How I knew that ball was intentionally thrown at me is because the way the basketball court was set up. We were at the black top. We were on the black top, and we had a basketball court, and then after the basketball court, we had like this other little just black top, straight black top. Literally, basketball court, the hoops, I'm way over here. So the only way that ball should have hit me the way that it did is if somebody intentionally threw it with all the force they had. Because, y'all, we had stray balls roll over, you know, every once in a while. But they would roll over to us because how far we actually were. In my head, I'm thinking it's my time to go when I got hit by that ball. I thought God was coming to get me because I swear I seen the light. He ended up taking me down to, like, the nurse's office. And I'm kind of, like, not bawling my eyes out. But you could see tears leaving my eyes because I was hurt. Okay, but I was trying to act like I was okay. That's the story on how they threw a ball at me, and they never even said sorry. They didn't even come to check up on me, you know. Yeah. Story time on how I snuck out to my very first party / kickback while I make slime. This happened when I was like 16 years old, y'all. Get your money's worth and let it drain. I didn't forget. At the time, my mother was this black Karen. She went from letting us do everything to letting us do nothing. So at this point, I'm getting fed up, and in my 16-year-old brain, it was a crime, okay? So me and my cousin, we used to FaceTime a lot, and we're on FaceTime, and she talking about this end of the year IE party. If you don't know what IE is, it's Inland Empire. It's Cali slang or whatever. I'm like, low-key, I want to go, right? She was like, I want you to go and stuff like that, but you know, we gotta figure out how we gonna navigate your mom. Me and my cousin came up with this plan. We were going to start putting it in my mom's head that we wanted to hang out with each other, right? I'm starting to put it in my mom's head that I want to hang out with my cousin 3 weeks in advance. I don't know what to tell you. I was dedicated work. Like, hey, mom, I guess, finally just like caved in. And literally a week before the party, my mom goes, oh yeah, you can go hang out with your cousin. My cousin, she's like, be good, like don't do nothing bad or whatever. Keep in mind, my mom does not know about this party. So I ended up making it to my cousin's house. Everything's nice, everything's good. So I was literally with my cousin for a whole week because of a party. Insane, right? Me and my cousin's biggest fear was that my mom was going to make up some reason for me to come back home. It's the night of the party, y'all. So basically, the big bash party, it ended up getting shut down because somebody like stole the money and stole speakers. Really, right as we're pulling up, my cousin pulls up next to us. He's like, yeah, like the party is shut down. I'm like, dang, I didn't even get to go to my first house party, whatever. But he's like, nah, like, look, there's another party. We're finna go. I'm like, we leave. So we make it to the other party, right? Tell me why, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. As soon as I stepped in that house, I just got a feeling that people was finna start. I'm like, but my cousin, she's like, chill, like, you're good, whatever. I see the dance floor sees me, y'all. It's a wrap. I go to the dance floor and start hitting. While I'm dancing, I'm doing all of that, I start to feel tall presence behind me. I look behind me, y'all. This man is like 8 feet tall. After that, I go over to sit down on the couch because no. Why do I look next to me and there's this man full on throwing up all over the floor and people are just stepping in it, dancing in it. So I start to sing that one song in my head. Truly, I ain't got no business here. Since my friends are here, I just came to kick it. But really, I would rather be at home by myself. So that party ended up getting shut down because some group of boys went outside and then cracked this one person's skull open because he was gay. Like, the story goes, he was knocking on doors, bothering people, and then they just went outside and knocked his head off. So the police is starting to pull up, ambulance pulling up. So everybody trying to get up out of there because they not trying to get stopped by the police, obviously. Me and my cousin and her girl best friend couldn't go nowhere because we had no car ride because, first of all, my other cousin's car was too small, and then like the other car literally had too many people in it to fit us in it. My cousin's girl best friend ended up hearing people talk about an after party, which is insane. We ended up hitching a ride with these random people that we did not know. Anything could happen to us, right? I'm praying in the back seat that we don't get, kidnapped, you know. We make it to the after party and then end up spending a night there. Insane. I know, like when you say that out loud, it sounds crazy. My cousin's brother came to pick us up in the morning and everything was nice and good. Yeah. My mom still don't know about that, but I'm grown now. What can she do? Scary things that happened to me growing up while I make slime. Instead of giving y'all like one scary thing that happened to me per video, I thought to give y'all like a couple of video. I don't know. Get your money's worth and let it drain. I didn't forget. No, I didn't. First thing on the top of the list is the mountain lion experience. So I grew up in this small town called Monrovia, and when I tell y'all, like there's so many bear break-ins and mountain lion sightings in Monrovia, like it's insane. So my grandfather, he had this avocado tree in his front yard, and I remember I was outside swinging on it like Tarzan, okay? I had a strong freaking sense that something was freaking watching me, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't freaking make it out, and all I know is I look up and I see a freaking mountain lion sitting on my grandfather's neighbor's fence, just sitting there looking at me like it was enjoying the show right before it ate me. Obviously, I see a big cat, you know, in the corner, and I'm freaking out. So I do one more swing around that avocado tree, and I run in the house and lock all the doors. Yeah. Second on the list is when I almost drowned at a beach. Yeah. As y'all know, I've almost drowned like at least 3 or 4 times, to be fair. This time I was at Laguna Beach in California, and I was like in the ocean, right? So I'm one of those people who do not go far in the ocean. You got me messed up. I'm not drowning out there, okay? Next thing you freaking know, a big old wave hits me and drags me out, right? So in the ocean, there's like this line where the waves hit, and I passed over that. And once you pass over it, it is really hard for you to come back. I'm trying to crawl back. Waves are just slapping me backwards and forth. And my sisters, they're just sitting at the shore like this, just looking at me. In my head, I'm like, at least I get the last thing I see is like my sister smiling, and I just close my eyes ready for it all. And I think what really saved my life was I felt a fish on my foot and I just started crawling, y'all. I started to crawl. I defeated all odds that day and I didn't drown in the ocean. Yeah. And my sisters, they were just laughing at me when I came back, and I was just like, wow, like y'all don't really love me. They were talking about what can I do? I don't know, go get an adult, like ugh. Last story of the day is when my older cousin whipped me in front of my friends. Yeah. Well, me and my other cousin, we ended up making a mess, right? And we were supposed to clean it up, but instead of me cleaning it up, I was like, I'm not cleaning this up because I didn't do the mess, right? So I went outside, and my mom was like, oh, for real? You think you big like that now? And I ran away to the neighbor's house, and I was just outside playing with them, And my mom was like, where did she go? And my cousin snitched on me. It's pitch black at this point. So I go over to girls who went to my school, and I was over there with them. And next thing you know, I see my cousin and my mom walking across the street, and my cousin had a belt in her hand. And I was like, oh my, they're not gonna do this right here, right now. What do y'all think they did? Yeah, so my cousin was like, oh, you didn't want to come back home when we told you to come back home? And so she gets the belt and she whoops me right there. And mind you, it's the weekend. So I didn't know what I was going to say when school came, okay? So I remember just thinking about it all week long. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Like, I know they probably spread a rumor around school. Like, they probably talked about it and everything because they were laughing, y'all. When I got to school the following Monday, they asked me, they were like, is your butt okay? And I was like, yeah, it was a feather belt. You know, it didn't hurt. I switched the belt. It was a feather belt. Girl, get out of my face. Yeah, and that was that. So those are the scary things that happened to me, and I hope y'all like this new series. Scary story time while I make slime. Get your money's worth and let it drain. I didn't forget. So I started noticing that there is a shadow in the corner of my room. Whenever I look at this said shadow, it either moves towards me or it moves like past the foot of my bed. We're starting this off already freaking creepy, y'all. So I invited my girl best friend over for a sleepover, and we kept seeing it, so we decided to play a game. Why? Don't know. We decided to play a game called Cat Scratch. So basically, my girl best friend laid her head on my lap, and how it goes is, since she had her head laying on my lap, I was rubbing her temple, and I was saying certain words, and y'all, when literally in my ear, I heard somebody whisper, "Get out, you're not welcome here." This is my house. Okay, this is my house. So what do you mean I'm not welcome here? Me and my girl best friend automatically stopped
because I'm like, no, you know, she's scared. So we get on TikTok for a while, and my girl best friend, she got to use the bathroom, but she wanted me to come with her, right? So my girl best friend ended up coming back from the bathroom, and she said she seen a face, a gray face with black beaded eyes, looking back at her by my bed frame. Hello? Both of us scared. We go to the bathroom, and we're in the bathroom for hours. She falls asleep, and I go back to my room, obviously, and I literally see the same face she's seen, but now like it kind of has a body. So I run out, I close my door. Why do I see black particles leaving underneath the door? And I hear faint footsteps that went downstairs, and you know, that's that. That's that. I ended up going back to my room for what? I don't know. There is a disclaimer. This is not my story. This was a follower story. They had emailed it, and I do love when y'all email me y'all scary stories. So disclaimer again, this is not my story. Not my story.
Story time on how I hid my first relationship from my strict dad, and he found out about it while I make bubblegum slime. I wasn't really hiding it from my mom because I'm pretty sure she just wouldn't have cared. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Yeah. I started dating this boy when I was 15 years old. Side note, that was the most toxic relationship I was ever in. So my dad was one of those like fake strict people where he would only act strict if he didn't like something that you were doing. He wasn't really keen to the whole dating idea. When I officially started talking to this boy, oh my gosh, I made it so clear to my siblings, you better not say his name when dad's around. At this point, this boy is just constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean constantly just breaking my freaking heart, right? My dad's girlfriend kind of caught on to the fact that, you know, I was in a relationship or whatever. And I remember one day I was like in their room, and she was like, yeah, are you gonna tell your dad about like the boy you're dating? So I was behind my dad when she said this, right? Like I was behind him, and he cocked his head back so hard, like, y'all, I couldn't even make this up, bro. He looks at me with the most sinister face I've ever seen, and he's like, oh, so you have a boyfriend? And my little sister goes, ooh, like, I like knowing how my dad gets. I was just trying to decline it until I couldn't decline it anymore, because I just knew he was gonna freaking do too much and give me an hour freaking lecture. My heart is beating at this point. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he done found out. In this stupid freaking lecture, he tells me that I'm gonna become a teen mother. I'm just too fast for my age. Like, I was just like, what? Mind you, me and this dude, we didn't even like talk anything sexual, anything freaky at all. He ends up telling me that I need to be a better role model for my sisters. Mind you, my sisters had their first, well, one of my siblings had their first kiss before me, and they're like 4 years younger than me. So after my dad had found out like I was in a relationship, he would take me and my siblings' phones more, just randomly come into my room and then make a big deal, like start lecturing me and my siblings out of freaking nowhere. He was already doing that before, but he started to do it more. Like I said before, my mom did not care that much that I was dating, mind you, because I don't even think she took it seriously, because it was like a long distance thing. It just threw me off when my dad was doing too much, because my little sister had her first kiss way freaking before I even had my first boyfriend, and he didn't even make a big deal about it. I knew he was gonna over exaggerate though, but here is the bubblegum slime, y'all. Here are some weird things my exes did to me while I reactivate my slime. Yeah, we're getting our money's worth. That's why I'm reactivating this stuff. Yeah. Starting off really strong and embarrassing, one of my exes told me that they were going to themselves and stuff like that. I'm obviously freaking out because I'm honestly thinking that he's gonna himself. He literally ignored all of my messages, and like a week later he forgot to block me from his story, and he posted himself on the phone with the girl for like an hour. This same ex told me that it would only take a week for him to get over my death. Yeah, this is a different slime, y'all. So one of my other ex had lied to me about getting stabbed, and he also lied about getting shot. Yeah, he also lied about getting jumped.
Well, he had told me one day he was going home and walking from the park, and these boys pulled up on him and jumped him and the same ex that lied about being stabbed basically cheated on me with a 14-year-old white girl. And I know people are gonna be like, why does the race matter? It doesn't. It's just the simple fact that he had told me that he would never date a white girl. So when I found out, I was a little confused, and she even told me she was confused because he said that he would never date black girls. There's literally so much from that situation that I was just like, wowzers. The ex from the beginning of the video would block me multiple times whenever he wanted to break up, and would just never break up with me, just always block me and ghost me. And then he would come back like a month later. He literally broke up with me every single month. But now look at me, I'm in an amazing relationship. I am loved, you know, I love my man, he loves me, and that's that. You are the piece of me I wish I didn't need. Get your money's worth, get your money's worth. Glitter, glitter. If our love's infinite, I'm not your toy, not your toy, you stupid boy, stupid boy. More glitter, cause I've been here once or twice. And that's staring, honey, move your feet. Looks like cinnamon toast crunch for real. They say devils don't fly, but don't expect me not to fall. Devils don't fly, water, water. They got me almost hiding home. Tie, game or tie. I'm sorry, but your story isn't adding up. Think your religion is a lie to keep my mouth shut. You're period. Plug my key into the side of his pretty little souped up four-wheel drive. Carved my name into his letter C. I took the Louis Vuitton leg and both headlights. Another and another coming up out of the gutter till I'm drowning in an ocean of entitled. Pushing on my buttons on the other by another. Pretending. Where's my happy ending? I followed all the rules. I drew inside the lines. I never asked for anything that wasn't mine. I waited personally for my time, but when it finally came, he called her name. A woman came. I'm in her brain. I'm at the dog in the bed. Now there's a devil on the shoulder where the angels used to be, and it's calling me the queen of me. Guys don't like me, these guys. They don't like me, these guys don't like me because the girlfriends do. The girlfriend, stop. Let me explain the situation. Everybody hating for the same reason. It's to mingle. She said she was single, and I'm just a nice guy. It's not my fault she looks at me. Only thinking of yourself. Show me how you justify. Bro. Sorry guys. Telling all your lies like second nature. Listen, mark my words one day. You will pay. Karma's gonna come collect your. This slime is always slippery and it never like fully activates, and that makes me mad because I can never actually really play with it, y'all. Like, also go follow my Instagram, y'all. Go follow my Instagram. This slime, get fucked with me, yo. Yeah. No, it's nothing personal. I'm trying to blame, cause they don't even see me cry. Cause even if they understand, they won't understand. So, bring me to life, wake me up inside, finally. Oh my gosh, the slime just flipped somewhere. Get off of me! Oh. People ask me why I don't take my ring off when I'm making slime, and that's because I don't really care to. It's never coming off of me. My man got it for me, so it's never coming off. Shh. Bye. Scary story time while I make slime because y'all are nosy and y'all wanted a part 2. Reincarnation edition, okay, y'all? So technically it wasn't me who was reincarnated. It was a girl who reincarnated into me, okay, y'all? And you already know. Get your money's worth. Like, this happened when I was really young, y'all. So it happened between the ages of 2 and 5, or so I'm told. Disclaimer, I'm telling this from my grandma's perspective because I don't know. I don't remember. This is nail charms, but my grandma started noticing something was wrong when I was not answering to my own name, and you know, she just thought it was terrible twos. As time goes on, they're starting to get worried because I'm not answering to my name no more, like at all. They told me that they were thinking that I was starting to lose my hearing because I just stopped paying attention to them at all. Time jump to when I'm 3. So I'm 3 turning 4 at this point, and there's a specific time where I'm in some type of kitchen and my grandma is calling my name, trying to get my attention to leave the house, and I'm just ignoring her. So my grandma walks up to grab me and she's like calling my name, and she told me that I turned around, looked at her, and said, "Stop calling me that. My name is Young Kishi." Huh? What? My family is like very religious, so automatically when a 3-year-old child who probably doesn't even know how to say mommy correctly starts to say something like that, it's gonna ring alarms. They say this goes on until like I'm It was like 5 or 6, y'all. I'm gonna be real. This slime is giving me a really rough time to activate, but my grandma told me that she questioned young Kishi, and she was like, girl, like, who are you? Like, where'd you come from, and why are you, like, bothering my granddaughter? And young Kishi, I don't think she was any older than 10, but she's like, I'm looking for my mom and dad. I don't know where I'm at. Like, you know, she's just obviously scared. Okay, they find out that she's not even from America. Like, young Kishi is not even from America. She was from somewhere in Asia. My grandma says she doesn't remember if it was Korea or China. My grandma told me that she tried to do research on like who this young Kishi person was, but she couldn't find anything anywhere. So yeah, I think that a girl had reincarnated into me and then eventually passed on to whatever, you know. We do not know how young Kishi died. Young Kishi ain't tell us any of that. But yeah, I'm not even lying about the story time. When I first heard it, I was like, there's no way, because I have no recollection. I don't remember it. Okay, y'all, look at this. This is a fail, I think. I think it's a fail. Let me keep kneading it. I made a cool bracelet with it, but like, I don't think... I hate working with this specific glue because it never activates right. You see this? Don't get it. Anyways, that's the story time on how a girl had reincarnated into me. Obviously, I don't remember anything, but my grandma told me to tell this story, so I am. The next story will be about how my mother traumatized me with drains. Story time on how I met my boyfriend's parents for the first time while I make slime. Get your money's worth. Like, I shouldn't even have to say it at this point. So yeah, we hopping into the tea hot and ready. Let it drain. To be exact, this happened 10 months ago, y'all. And let me give y'all a little backstory. So yeah, I wanted to have like an acquainted relationship with his parents because I didn't know anything about them. On the other hand, this man knew everything about my family. Like, this man, he was close. He's close to my people, you know. Let me clear one thing up. Like, he is my first real raw relationship. I've never made it this far to where like I met a dude's parents, right? End up having like a formal conversation with his mom, and that was that, right? Now, for y'all understanding, me and my man is long distance. Like, I don't know where y'all got the idea from that me and my man live together. We're long distance, y'all. Around last year, I was like, you know what? You know, my birthday's coming up, and I want to see my man for my birthday. It's about that time. Like, I need to see my man, right? And he said, you know, if you come out here, you're gonna have to meet my parents, right? Duh, like. So in my head, how this is gonna go is my man, he's going to come pick me up, and I'm gonna have a good day before I have to like meet his parents, so I could get myself ready in the mirror. I could write my speech down. No. So I was told literally a day before, maybe 2 days before like my flight was supposed to take place, that his dad wanted to come pick me up from the airport. And I was like, it's a wrap. Like, I gotta meet his mom. Like, I don't even get a day. Like, like, what am I gonna do, right? So I'm just at this point, I'm just in shock. Like, I'm like, there's no way that this is happening. Like, no, it's not happening like this. It was. The day comes, I get on my plane, and of course, you know, I'm a lucky charm. The plane lands earlier than it's supposed to. So, I get there, I meet the dad, and I'm like, hey, I was dying inside, y'all. Like, I was just so freaking nervous because, again, this is my first raw relationship. I've never met somebody's parents before, you know, other than my friend's parents, and those aren't a big deal. Like, I've never met a dude's parents before. His dad was nice and sweet and chill, and then it was time to meet his mom, and I was just like, I'm done for, y'all. She gonna terminate me. Now, luckily for me, it was 2 hours from where his house was, so I had a little bit of time, but still, I was not thinking about what I wanted to say. I'm telling you, I was in shock. I was just like, this is not happening. Not like this. No. I ended up meeting his mom for the first time. And when I tell you the first time that I met her, it was so freaking awkward because of me. Because I have, like, I just, like, in situations like that, I try my best. And since I was in front of my boyfriend, and then his dad, and then his mom, and then his brothers, I'm just like, no. No, like, this isn't it. This isn't it. Scary story time while I make slime, drain edition. Get your money's worth, like I didn't forget. My mother requested me. Actually, she's been begging me to do the story time.
If you did not know, I am afraid of sewer drains. That is a fear of mine. So let's get into why I'm afraid of sewer drains. So when I was a child, my mom, she used to have to take the bus a lot, right? So at the time, my ADHD was not diagnosed or anything, right? So she would be like 50 paces ahead of me, and I would be 50 paces back looking at the ants on the ground, not paying attention to nothing. So in her head, she's like, what am I going to do to get this kid to stop lollygagging because I can't keep missing these buses, right? She created something evil. She started telling me these stories about drain people and how these people eat little girls who don't listen, okay? Now, obviously, if you're a child hearing that the drains on the sidewalk that you pass by every day eat people, yeah, you're going to be good. So technically, she achieved her goal, but she didn't know it was going to get worse. So it's already drained in my head that drains eat people, right? So one day we're on the bus and we're getting off, and the bus stops in front of a big drain. Now y'all know those movies where those kids like see something and then it turns into a monster trying to eat them? Like, perfect example is Monster House. As soon as I looked at that drain, that's exactly what the drain looked like to me. Mind you, my mom had gotten off the bus, my grandma had gotten off the bus, and I'm just standing. I'm not getting out. Like, Mom, no, like there's a drain right there. They're screaming at me to get off the bus, and like people on the bus are like, oh my gosh, like they're obviously getting annoyed, and the bus lady closes the bus doors and she kind of drives off. My grandma and my mom end up stopping the lady and getting me off the bus, but the funny thing is I was happy on that bus. I didn't have to get out and face a drain that was gonna eat me. So for the most part, I literally stayed away from sewer drains literally my entire life because yeah, no. So obviously I'm older now and I understand that drains themselves don't eat people. Now the people who live down in them drains, they probably eat people, but you know, drains themselves don't eat people. My fear of drains kind of progressed to like, how do I explain, like kind of like anxious anxiety, to be real. Whenever I'm by a drain, I start to imagine that like I slip and fall in one, or I lose an AirPod, or I accidentally drop my keys or my phone or a ring down there. Believe it or not, I've dropped my phone in a drain before, and my dad kind of climbed down to go get it, and it was the worst anxiety of my life because I'm like, them drain people gonna get you if you don't hurry up and get out. Like, I told him to leave the phone. He was like, nah, and he went in there and he got it anyway. So yeah, that's kind of like, this one was kind of not like a spooky one, but it's just my fear of drains. I also fear butterflies, y'all, but I love butterflies, but like from afar, okay? I don't care how childish and silly you think my fear of drains is. Yeah, now I need to clarify something. I'm not afraid of drains like bathroom drains or sink drains, okay? It's only specifically like big sewer drains, okay? Scared of them. Also, can y'all put me on to things that can activate slime other than laundry detergent and borax? Because I will not use borax. Anyways, that is the story. I don't know. I think I definitely might start to make different playlists for the different things that I talk about, because I want to start talking about like history again. So yeah, bye guys. Scary story time while I make slime. Murdered butterfly edition, because y'all are all up in my business. Get your money's worth, okay? Now this happened when I was like in the 3rd or 2nd grade, y'all. I don't remember. So the old school that I went to kind of had like this garden, right? Now, I would always go to this garden to eat the flowers in the garden and read because I was a weirdo. And it backfired. It's just a normal day for me. I'm at school, recess hits, and I'm like, time to go get lunch, you know? If you think eating flowers is weird, some of y'all ate glue. So, like I said before, recess had hit, so I was going to my lunch spot. I was about to pick my sweet flowers, and I remember the exact comic I was reading. I was reading the Spider-Man comic, and I was making my way down, sitting there looking at the garden. The garden is looking at me, and I'm like, bon appetit. So I start picking up flowers one by one, y'all, while I'm reading this Spider-Man comic, right? Next thing you know, I pick up this purple flower, right? And as I'm putting it to my mouth, this white butterfly comes out, and it's like, I'm like, obviously I freak out. So like, I kind of like throw, I threw the flower because I don't play like that. So I'm like, you know what, next flower. So as I'm going for the next flower, all I see is a white butterfly coming straight from my face. It slaps me in my face. Could not make this up. I'm like, okay, so obviously, you know, I'm swatting my face. I start running up this little hill that we kind of had. And this butterfly is chasing me. And this is how my fear of butterflies started, okay? This butterfly is chasing me, y'all. Like, it's going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Just slapping me backwards and forth, slapping me backwards and forth. Just eating me up, for real.
I'm running up the hill trying to get people attention, and all I see is people doing this. Like, y'all not gonna help a little girl out. It was really traumatic for my 3rd grade self. Like, a bug was literally slapping me, punking me. I was getting bullied by a butterfly. Fun fact about Spider-Man, technically his colors were never red and blue. They were actually red and black. But back in the olden days, they used to highlight colors with the color blue. So people thought that his colors were red, black, and blue. But in reality, it was just red and blue. See this in a lot of old comics. Like, they highlight with the color blue. Yeah. Scary story time while I make slime, ghost edition. Get your money's worth. Like, I didn't forget, but this happened to me when I was in middle school. Please don't mind the glue on my shirt. So I was visiting my grandfather in the hospital, and I remember just sitting in the waiting room minding my business, and I came across one of my aunties, right? Is this activating my slime? Wait, hold on. Anyways, I came across one of my aunties, and they had asked me if I wanted to go see my grandfather, you know, in the room. And I was like, no. Like, I was like, no. I remember just kind of like walking out to the hallway, and I see one of my other cousins like sitting down at this huge window just looking outside or whatever. And then I see a little girl next to her. Not thinking anything of it, I go sit next to my cousin, you know, just sitting, chilling, minding my business. We were kind of all called back to like the waiting area, and this little girl followed. So I'm like, okay, she must be like an auntie's child that I don't know about. We're in there for like 23 minutes, and this girl is just sitting next to one of my aunties. And mind you, I'm not paying attention to her that much. She's just sitting there leaning against one of my aunties. So visiting hours were over, and it was time for everyone to go home. Everyone's leaving. This little girl follows, still not thinking anything of it, right? We get to my auntie's car, and we're gonna mix this slime with this slime. But we get to my auntie's car, everyone's getting in, and this little girl is getting in the car too. So now I'm kind of concerned, confused, but I'm like, okay, like, who is she? Because I must know her, you know? I was so tired. I was mainly focusing on my grandfather. I wasn't really like, it's that big of a deal. It's until we were driving back to where we came, and I'm looking at this little girl, and she's just looking at me the whole entire time. Looking at me. So I start to ask questions like, yo, who this little girl? They talking about what little girl? What you talking about? What you want? Me being me, I'm like, the little girl right there, you know? Like, they kind of just brush it off as me playing because, like, it was a serious situation, and I'm over here talking about a little girl in the back seat with me. She followed us all the way until, like, halfway away from the hospital, and then she just looked at me, closed her eyes, and disappeared. Like, I could not, and I know that sounds crazy because I know some people don't believe in, you know, ghost stories. But she followed me halfway home, and I guess that was the part to where she couldn't follow me anymore, and she just left. Like, a lot of people have been saying, like, I have a very scary childhood, but in reality, I actually had a pretty fun childhood. Like, I was having fun, y'all. Even though scary stuff happened to me, I didn't think about how scary it was until I got older. We're gonna try to make wax slime because it's been highly requested in my email. What should we talk about, guys? Like, get your money's worth. You thought I forgot? Let this drain. So you're supposed to activate the slime or whatever. And I don't care. I like to get my hands dirty. So we're going in, okay? We're activating the slime real quick so we can try this wax crap. We're mixing. Now stop. I could have did this on slime that was already activated, but what would be the fun in that? Like, literally, like, what would be the fun in that? It took me forever and then some to actually get this slime to start acting right. So now we finna get the candle. This is the candle, and the scent is rosemary watermelon, and it smells so good. Smelly. It's good stuff. I don't have a lighter, so we doing it like this. Hey. It's been like 40,000 minutes, and we better pour. Oh, I don't think I have enough. I'm gonna have to wait some more. I don't know what the purpose of wax slime is, but we just gonna let this chill a little bit more before we jump in. While we wait, cookie crumble. Okay, I got the Oreo one, but I kind of warmed it up. In the bathroom because it's more so. What? I did something wrong, y'all, but listen, like, it's still in here, but it doesn't, it's just chunks of, what is the point of this? Like, there's no crunchy sound. Like, did I use the wrong wax or something? Like, it's not, we're just gonna call this one a fail, cause no. Scary story time while I make slime, dying edition. Yeah. I don't know what grade I was in. I just know I was a kid, and this happened at Splash Kingdom. Get your money's worth. I didn't forget. Like, so we went to this water park pretty often, and now the water park is unfortunately closed down, but yeah. So in the lazy river, there's this slide that kind of connects to the lazy river, and only like VIP people could ride the slide, and they never had it on. It was rarely ever on, but this one specific time, it was on. The water coming down the water slide was this powerful force that just jolts everyone forward. Of course, everyone was being reckless, and they were like getting in front of like the stream of water, and they would just get pushed completely forward. So me, I was like, ooh, I want to try this, but I was low-key scared, right? So I remember I kind of stand in the way of the jet. I stand in the way of the freaking jet, and it pushes me forward. Like, it does its job. When it pushes me forward, I slip and lose my balance, and I'm just tossed. I'm literally just getting tossed like tumbleweed, just rolling like tumbleweed. So I'm like, this is the end of me. Like, this is the end of me. Y'all, I'm doing backflip after backflip, looking at the sky, looking at the ground. Like, I wish this would have happened differently, and I black out, and then I wake up sitting next to the lifeguard, and everyone's looking at me, and I just got up and walked away. They asked me if I'm okay, obviously, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. What are y'all on? Drowning and surviving has to be one of the most embarrassing things that you could ever do, because what the crap, you know? And the funny, sad thing is that I've drowned on multiple occasions, and I can swim. So I think I can swim. Anyways, that is the story time of how I almost died at a water park. Oh yeah, y'all go watch my newest YouTube video since y'all been forcing me to post. Yeah. Okay, bye guys. Mwah.